guys, it's Emily from Novell Novels and welcome to today's video. This is my Victorian authors that I would like to try. Now, one of them is on my TBR for this month, but the others aren't. And I would like to know if there is any authors that I've not mentioned today that you think I should try, any ones that I should save up for next Victober, or any ones that I should get to just a little bit sooner. Because I don't know about you guys, but I spend all year preparing for Victober. I go to the charity shops and hunt for good books that I hear from you guys, my subscribers. I hear so many good ideas about which books to try, and I love recommendations. You guys know I love that. I love hearing what you guys recommend. So I'm going to show you some authors that I would like to try, but there is obviously more, and I would like you guys to tell me which authors to try and which books to try, because I love it. I would really appreciate it. So the first one that I want to try is a Wilkie Collins. I've got two of his books. I've got the Moonstone and I've got the Woman in White. I know a lot of people are reading the Woman in White this year, because obviously it's more like a spooky kind of book. And this is a mystery. I don't know too much about it, and I do not want to know too much about it. My sister Charlie is reading it for Victober. She's hoping to. So I'm looking forward to finding out what she thinks. I've heard Wilkie Collins is, like I said, a bit more of a mystery, kind of thriller-y, kind of. And this sounds like a mystery, the Moonstone. So I do want to try it. It was on my list and I found it in a charity shop for about £1. So that was good. I thought, got to pick that up. My edition's quite good. I do like the Wordsworth Classic Edition. You know me and my Wordsworth Classics. But yeah, do I start off with the Moonstone, which isn't too long. It's only just over 400 pages. Or do I start with the Woman in White? Bear in mind, guys, you know that I'm a wimp. The next one is a book that I'm not going to save for Victober, because it's a chunky book and I'm probably going to try and read it over 2 months. So, Vanity Fair. And I'd like to try William Thackeray. Vanity Fair is a book that I've heard so many of you talk about. It's one that's been on my wish list, and when I saw it in a charity shop in Henley, I thought I had to buy it. It is, like I said, it's one of my longest books, and that's what scares me. It's like nearly 800 pages. So, great quality of eating and drinking. I don't know, like I said, I don't know much about it. But I've heard so many people have read it. I know so many of my booktube friends have read it, and I've really been intrigued by it. Looks like policemen on the lookout for cracks boiling in the front of their booze. This is a melee of improvisations. So Becky Sharp, one of literature's most resourceful, engaging and amoral characters, and Amelia Sedgwick, her less illustrious but ambiguous foil. Their story is landmark in the history of British fiction. So this does sound really good. It's one I'm looking forward to. Don't know when I'll read it, because I don't know. Like I said, I want to read it over 2 months, and it's one that is very special to me. But is there any other books by this author you guys think I should read? Any other ones from this? But I know this is one that's definitely on my shelf, but definitely one I want to read. It's Penguin Classics, but it's still a beautiful edition. I was quite happy. Like I said, I think I paid like £2 for that, which I normally wouldn't pay for a paperback, but so good. I think it's one that's well good. Now, I've only read, I think I'm going to say Arthur Conan Doyle, this book, because I think I've read a little bit of his books, but I haven't really properly read them. And I know that so many of you have told me about this. This is Sherlock Holmes, and I think this edition, this copy I've got here, has got The Hound of the Baskervilles, and it's got some short stories. So I would like to read more. I'm learning more about like mysteries and things like that, and this looks like a crime kind of book. It's about nearly 500 pages, but this is, yeah, it's about 500 pages. This copy is beautiful. I got it from my charity shop and I love it. The charity shop near me. The game is afoot. Now, I know Julie from Hungry Bookworm likes Arthur Conan Doyle. I know quite a few people have spoken about it, and that this edition looks beautiful. Is there any of his books that, again, you think that I should read urgently, that I should really get to? I'm really looking forward to hearing what you think of that. The next is an author that I'm reading in Victober. I don't know when in this month I'll be reading it, but it's a new to me author, and this is the book that scares me the most. George Eliot. I've not tried a George Eliot book yet. This is Middlemarch. Again, lots of you have spoken about this book. It has had very mixed reviews. Some people have loved it and some people haven't. Now, I'm reading Adam Bede this month. I've also got Silas Marner upstairs, and I've got this. So, I do not know too much. I've heard mixed things. Some people have really loved George Eliot's work. I know Kate Howe has really loved her work, but some other people haven't. I think Katie from Books and Things didn't like her as much. So I'm really intrigued as to whether I'm going to like her or not. Middlemarch is a complex idealism of disillusion, I can't say the word, loyalty and frustrated love. A penetrating analysis of the life of an English provincial town during the time of social unrest prior to the first reform of 1832. And it's told through the lives of Dorothy of Burtbrook and Dr. Terrius Lydgate, and it includes a host of other paradigm characters. So I believe it's like lots of different characters that are involved in this. I'm not sure whether I'm going to like, again, this is another like 700-page one, so it'll probably be one again I will try and read over 2 months. Probably one I'd like to buddy read, actually. I think these chunky ones I'd like to buddy read because they look so big. But what do you guys think? Do I go Silas Marner next, or do I go Middlemarch? Do you think I'm going to... You guys know what I like. Do you think I'm going to like George Eliot? Obviously, I've got Adam Bede to read this month because Kate picked it for me. But I'm wondering if I'm going to like Middlemarch, or if it's going to scare me, or how I'm going to do with it. And the last one is an author that is very new to me, but I've heard a lot about this author from... Oh, this is actually published in 1910, so I don't think it is. It's just outside the Victorian Authors, but I've heard lots of people have spoken about E.M. Forster. I don't know if it's Victorian, sorry, I've just realised I'm not sure if that's Victorian or not. I think it might be just out of that. But I've heard from Katie from Books and Things talk about this author, so I thought I'd put it in. And this is, this one, Howard's End, is a story of two sisters and their very different paths in life. Forster voiced many of his apprehensions about the future and has become much more relevant than ever as a statement of humane and civilised values. So, book on sisters. I found this in a charity shop near me, and this is Howard's End. So this is another sort of ish kind of, not quite Victorian. But I'm getting there. I am pushing myself to read more Victorian authors. Last year I picked up Elizabeth Gaskell for the first time and I loved her work. I should have included Anthony Trollope because I've only read one of Anthony Trollope's work and I've only read The Warden, but this month I'm reading The Barchester Towers. So obviously I'm reading that series. Is there any of his individual books that you guys think I should try? Because I really appreciate it. Like I said, I loved The Warden last year. I know that Tom from Tom Reads Things likes Anthony Trollope. I know that Katie did a big project on Anthony Trollope last year. So do I count that as a new to me Victorian author? Because I'm only reading the second one this month. Do I kind of count that? I am trying to push myself. And like I said, Elizabeth Gaskell I tried for the first time last year and I've never gone back. She is now becoming almost one of my favourite Victorian authors. Like, I know the Brontes I kind of class together because Emily Bronte only wrote one, and obviously that was my favourite book ever, which I know is controversial on here because so many people either love it or hate it. And then we've obviously got Charlotte Bronte, I love. Anne Bronte, I only did 2. I've read The Tenant at the Firepole Hall. I'm going to be reading Agnes Grey this month, which will be exciting. So I love the Brontes. I kind of class them all in one go. They're my favourite. So, but I must admit, Elizabeth Gaskell is writing right up there. Because if you think Emily Bronte only wrote one main, and that's one of my favourite books. But I love Elizabeth Gaskell books. So she's kind of like a bit of a toppy favourite of mine. Now, guys, are there any other Victorian kind of videos? I've got another video coming up at the end of the month, which is going to be about spooky books that I want to read. And there is some spooky classics that I'm going to include in that, which will be related to Victober. So it's going to be a bit of a mishmash of Victorian and other books. And it'll be a bit of Emily's going to challenge herself. Whether I do it this year or whether I do it next year, I am going to challenge myself. You guys are very good at that. Anyway, I've done a bit of rambling, haven't I? If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel and not subscribed yet, ring on my ding-a-ling. And like I said, guys, comment below which Victorian authors and Victorian books you guys think I should look for. Take care.